Welcome to Things You Might Not Have Heard for the 16th of August, this Friday here in 2024. I'm Jay Clifton Payne. Thank you so much for being with us for the show today and every day you show up for the show and all the things we do all around. We'll explain a lot of the stuff going on, but first, explaining this thing right here. 8 news stories from yesterday, from Thursday, that you deemed as conversational, represented for you to get your day started or middle day started if you watch this middle day. The big thing is you actually vetted these conversational stories that cover information, politics, current events, and pop culture news. We got Matthew Perry, the breaking news on that one happening yesterday, plus some Stonehenge news breaking, even though it's like 4,000 years old, and much love, much birthday love to some very special people. Julie Newmar is just one of them. We'll explain the full vetting process in a bit, but first, I want to remind you that we have a home online where you can, we want to explain so many things. You can learn about it by seeing what we have up there at our website. This is theconversationproject.com. I'm sorry, it's called, this is conversationproject.com is the website. Our email address is theconversationinbox@gmail.com. The script's not scrolling properly, so I'm mumbling my words. Meanwhile, you can go to the website and see more about us, where we are, what we are, how we do things, and of course, email us with all your comments and concerns. We're going to ask you some calls to actions. We're going to ask you for money in a little bit, so yes, it's going to happen. We've got to get the bills on. But if you want know more about the mission, and sometimes why I can't speak so well, go to our website. This is theconversationproject.com and find out the details about our backstory, plus other ways to support us and hopefully help me speak more better, maybe. So today, as I said, is Friday, August the 16th, 2024. Thank you so much for being with us for this day. 8 news stories, no particular order as I'm presenting them, but I'll give you some aspects on how they basically stacked up. These are from some of the top stories from yesterday. We posted over 30 stories throughout the day, every 50 minutes or so, but these are some of the top stories of the day, most conversational ones, based on the engagement and the story they actually told. The biggest story being told yesterday is the biggest story we're going to tell right now. Number 1 story for this morning on Matthew Perry. Arrests have been made in the drug investigation into Matthew Perry's ketamine death. This was a shocker when it came down, and the scope of this thing is really what's really so grand about this. Matthew Perry's death was, of course, led to a federal drug charges being filed against multiple individuals in connection with the ketamine overdose that caused his passing. Perry, the beloved Friends actor, passed away on October 28th of 2023, age of 54. An autopsy later revealed that the cause of death was acute ketamine toxicity. He basically had enough ketamine in his system to have surgery as opposed to just kind of take a nap. Authorities have since arrested and charged several people allegedly involving the supply of the drug to Perry. Some of those people include his actual assistant, who shot him up 2 or 3 times that day before leaving him and then finding him later on dead in the hot tub. And of course, a person they're calling the ketamine queen. The short story is he was taking ketamine on prescription. His doctors wanted to wean him off it. He didn't want to, so he started doctor shopping for doctors who would sell it to him, essentially $12 doses for about $1,000 each. And then again, he wanted more and wanted more and wanted more. Went black market. Ketamine queen is where we got that story there. And 5 people essentially charged with the murder, the death of Matthew Perry. This is going to go on for a bit. Click the link for deeper details of the story and keep watching, because they're going to cover this one for a while. Also being covered for a while because we are, suckers for the true crime stuff and sucker for the people who are released after certain periods of time, whether they are exonerated or not, and suckers for their lives. Right now, we may be being suckered by Gypsy Rose Blanchard, or most people are who care about this one. This is a story that you engaged in, so we put it out there because you guys love the story. Not a big fan. Here's the story for Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She could be going back to jail, back to prison, for violating her parole. Now, months back, we talked about a lot of things she was doing, including being less on social media and less kind of out and open on stuff because she didn't want to violate a parole. Meanwhile, she was dealing with the marriage she had in prison and then getting divorced and having a baby with a boyfriend and just all sorts of things that are just the drama stuff that keeps you in the tabloids, which if that's how you're making your money is great, but not so great if you want to stay out of jail. Here's the problem. She went to jail, of course, for the murder of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, and speculation on whether, what's going to happen with her going forward. She may go back to prison because she violated her parole. In fact, there was someone on the outside who basically told her to lie about some things to her parole officer, which essentially is how these things happen. A lot of other public things happen, including, like I said, the marriage and I guess the breakup, pregnancy announcement, the boyfriend, and just other things going on, and just trying to live a not so normal life, because not so normal life doesn't pay the bills for someone like Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Not judging, but this is what's going on. She's making money off her fame and infamy, not going to Target or going to Walmart and working stocking shelves. It's what's happening. We'll see whether she has to return to prison life going soon, or whether she can continue living how she's going at the moment. Not getting out of prison at the moment, but we shall see, as Alec Murdaugh could get a new trial in South Carolina, as Supreme Court agrees that they should take up the case for tampering. The South Carolina Supreme Court has agreed to hear Alex Murdaugh's appeal for a new trial based on allegations of jury tampering. Murdaugh, who was convicted of murdering his wife and his son, claimed that his trial was compromised due to inappropriate actions involving a jury. These inappropriate actions was a clerk who was going to write a book about this, talking to the jury and sort of peppering him with thoughts, which he says tainted the jury against him. The decision, it's about a state Supreme Court, opens the possibility for a new trial, which may overturn his conviction, an actual brand new trial that with no tampering, which they may find that he is not so guilty. I'm not sure, based on seeing the public evidence and seeing the trial stuff in public, it seems pretty hardy to me, and I'm not sure how they're going to overturn this. But I've been in juries and I've been in this deliberations, been how discussions go in the background, and these things can change, they shift without you knowing about them, based on what's going on with the people who actually matter, the 12 folks who have to make the decision. We'll see how this one plays out. Old news, really old news, on an old icon, being Stonehenge. The altar stone originally came from Scotland and not Wales, new research shows. Recent research revealed that the mysterious altar stone, I said anchor stone, altar stone at Stonehenge, previously believed to have come from Wales, actually came from northeastern Scotland. The new findings suggest that the stone was transported over 700 kilometers to its current location in southern England. Discovery sheds new light on the origins of the materials used to construct the ancient monument, further deepening the mysterious surrounding the Stonehenge construction. So, yeah, not from over there, from way over there. Now, one of the things that this is showing people is that the early Britons, early Englanders, if you will, were a bit more sophisticated than maybe thought, as they had to find a way to deliver the stone from so far away, whether they did it by ship, whether they walked it all the way over here, whatever they did to get there, whether the aliens picked it up and put it down there. So then they weren't all that, sophisticated, because the aliens did it for them. We don't know. We do know that based on just essentially the materials it's made of, it basically looks more like the material from over in Scotland as opposed to over in Wales in the timeline it's there. More mystery for Stonehenge, something I think I'm not really big on travel and tourist stuff, and overseas travel is a nightmare of doing it as a youth. Not really a big fan of being in a tin can for more than 10 hours to get somewhere. But this is something I might actually put on a bucket list to go see, Stonehenge and some things like that, if I did bucket list. So let's go to story number 5. And this is not her bucket list. As Columbia University President Dr. Minouche Shafik resigns months after campus protest. Dr. Minouche Shafik, the president of Columbia University, has announced her resignation. That's a word. The decision comes just months after she assumed the role. While the specific reasons for her resignation have not been disclosed, her departure is significant given her recent appointment to the position after she took over for the person who left the first time. The university is now faced with the task of finding new leaderships as they navigate the unexpected transition. What's being rumored and innuendoed about this is that Shafik just didn't want to deal with another round of protests. School is coming back in session, so the spring of protests, the people who were essentially camping out on campuses because they were doing their part to protest what was going on in the Gaza region, essentially the Israelis, attacking the Gazans, even though it was provoked by Hamas, which makes it a very complicated issue. Words like genocide, words like things being tossed around and turning into a national disaster in PR. Of course, this coming off the heels of the original talk back in October 6th, or October, where Yeah, the issue of speech and what's going on, and how Jewish students didn't feel protected from people with hate speech. So that's how the other president got. This one deciding to go ahead and knock herself off, get out of the way before things happen, because it seems like a no whole other season of the last season is coming, and she wanted no part of it. Here's an interesting story that's kind of floating around for a bit, and we're finally pulling it up there after a bit of a resolution, if you will. Well, what's gone through this? The headline for story number 6: Detroit judge who had teen handcuffed for sleeping temporarily removed from docket. Judge Kenneth King of Detroit has been temporarily removed from his courtroom duties following an incident where he had a teen handcuffed for falling asleep during a courtroom visit. The incident led to a swift internal investigation by the court, after which Judge King was reassigned to undergo some training because he wasn't doing anything all that smart. The decision to remove Judge King from the docket was announced by Chief Justice William McConco of the 36th District Court. Essentially, some kids were at a courtroom visit, and one of them fell asleep, and so he held them in contempt and had him handcuffed. He literally locked him up for falling asleep in court and showing disrespect for him, which may have been a bit of an overreach, if you will. Maybe a learning lesson, a point to learn, but handcuffing a kid for falling asleep in court in this day and age doesn't fly. So Mr. King, Judge King, if you will, taking some time off from his court cases to go undergo some training. We'll see what happens after training and where he ends up, whether he sticks around in Detroit or goes to some other jurisdiction in the near future. Near future, not so bright for Robert Griffin III and for Sam Ponder, who are now no longer a part of ESPN's lineup. They have been fired among a shakeup of NFL broadcasters and announcers. The significant shakeup happened yesterday with Robert Griffin III and Sam Ponder being two people released on October 15th, surprising many sports in the community. And both Griffin and Ponder were, of course, caught off guard. They're pretty key figures for ESPN's NFL programming, basically being a part of the Monday Night Football lineup for pregame stuff and things going on. That's part of a restructuring for ESPN. Now, Disney, owner of ESPN, has money issues. ESPN has money issues as more people are actually seeing more stuff, but the way the fractured nature of viewing things in either clips on the back end or in streaming services that are overblown and kind of hard to get to, the money isn't being made the way it used to. It's not just pay a fee and everybody just pays for it and everybody watches ESPN when it's supposed to be on. The way things work are different. So two people who, popular may not be the word, but were very prominent in the sports game for ESPN for football, RG3, Robert Griffin III, maybe slightly controversial, and Sam Ponder, who some believe there's a bit of an overreach on this one as well, maybe thinking she's getting the Sage Steele treatment. That might be a bit of an overreach of the overreach, but as rumors and innuendo will come out, we'll see more about, the deals and who takes over for what, how they restructure, and what we will hear and what we, of course, won't hear. Wrapping up the week's news with a sad story and sending flowers, unfortunately, on her way out to Gena Rowlands, who, the star of The Notebook and A Woman Under the Influence, is now gone from us past the age of 94. The Oscar-nominated actress, renowned for her roles in films such as A Woman Under the Influence and, of course, big time in The Notebook, passed away at the age of 94. The career spanned nearly 7 decades, so a very good run for her, during which she appeared in more than 100 films and TV credits. Rowlands died surrounded by her family at her home in Indian Wells, California, on August 14th. She was celebrated for her intense emotional powerhouse performances, left an indelible mark on the film industry. Sending our flowers out to Gena Rowlands now, as she got plenty of flowers in her lifetime, but definitely going to miss her in her work she has. And of course, that probably means Netflix is going to have blasting all weekend. Lots of big numbers for The Notebook. Put your money down on that one. Let's go to our teaser story for today. This is a big one. This one is an actual big one. So we are teasing the story for today, this Friday, and it has to last till Monday. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as a story that you engage in enough for us to take a look at to see. Now, the engagement is simple. You go to our feeds on the Facebook website and the X website, or on your apps, if you will, and on scrolling, and you look and see what we have on our pages there. For Facebook, we have this is the Conversation Project, and for X, it's th_conversation. And every 50 minutes, we post news articles for you to engage in. So you may see this. You may have to go look for this one if this one actually gets your goat. But the headline we're teasing for today that you can engage in, that we can talk about in the next iteration come Monday, New York Mayor Eric Adams served with more grand jury subpoena in corruption investigation. Eric Adams is getting things done in New York City. But Eric Adams is getting things done in New York City in ways that people are sort of scratching their heads. It's sort of a tradition for New York City mayors to get things done in ways that scratch people's heads. It's a tradition. Going back to as far as I can remember with Ed Koch and, David Dinkins. Yes, America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Yes, of course, Bloomberg, although he did it with his own money, which is kind of weird. And, of course, the last guy. That guy. Yeah, that guy. Eric Adams, who is doing his mayor duty for New York City, is doing what he can to keep things right with all the issues that he has for the city and what's going on in the nation right now, and also raising his national profile to maybe do something with that one. But subpoenas for investigations on corruption, those can end those national profile thoughts pretty quickly. We'll see how this one plays out. Of course, yesterday we had the story teased about the drivers getting their knowledge, getting their data sold by GM to consumers, to salespeople, and we didn't use that one. That one did not peg as well as the stories had today. We had a nice grouping of things that were all more or less a wild range of things throughout the day, and in a fashion where they're all sort of even out in numbers. Some of them a little bigger than others, but they all were consistent. Nothing was like a standout over top anything today. So it was an interesting news day on the day. Although we didn't post a lot of Trump stuff, and Trump talked a lot of stuff. But here on today, we're teasing this story, but we're basically teasing all the stories and trying to give you the info on how to get the stories into the feeds, into the shows from the feeds. So go to our feeds on Facebook and X and see the stories as they come down. Engage in them with your favorite way to engage it. Put your favorite smiley face, your favorite emoji face, your mean, grunchy face. Comment, share, read. Please read and do what you can to give it engagement. The top 30 stories for Monday get consideration for 10 stories we present. So this has a way to go. It's about 90 or so stories we'll get over the weekend. So it's got to be top 30 to get a look. And then we'll see if Eric Adams being investigated is good enough to chat up come Monday. Let's go to our sponsor for today, and it is Zenni Optical. Visit our website and see our affiliate link. This affiliate link allows us to get a small commission for your buying from Zenni Optical. And that affiliate link is, after a quick hydration break, this is conversationproject.com/Zenni. This is conversationproject.com/Zenni. And at Zenni Optical, you can get great stuff. That great stuff? I mean glasses. Great glasses. They're stuff. And they're great because they cost less. And they're good glasses that cost less. You can't really argue with good glasses that cost less. You can, I guess. You can throw up arguments. You can say some things, and you can make people pay a lot of money to send glasses back. Or you can make people pay a little bit of money to get the glasses they want. And if they don't want them, then they send them back and get other glasses. Why does commerce have to be so complicated? Buy what you want at a great price that takes good care of you with all the stuff. Great lenses, not cheap frames and not cheap lenses. Great stuff, great quality materials at a price that you can actually enjoy. Lesser. How about that? Visit our website and see our affiliate links. Visit our website for more of our sponsors if you will, but make sure you see the affiliate link for Zenni Optical to take care of your eyes today, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple months when you hit that next checkup and your prescription changes. You can get a lot of glasses. Like literally, I get lots of glasses because they're so inexpensive from Zenni Optical. This is the conversationproject.com/Zenni. This is the conversationproject.com/Zenni for Zenni Optical. Let's talk about the Conversation Project very quickly. The Conversation Project is our home, our website. It's where we live online. At this is the conversationproject.com. What do you have, the Conversation Project? Well, you have Conversation Project stuff. You have the recaps and replays of this thing here. You have lots of links to Smaller things are news clips and hot takes that are on other platforms we're on, of course, TikTok and YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on X. We're also on Instagram, although it's hard to kind of quantify the Instagram stuff. We're there as well. You can see us on various podcatcher platforms, so you can just get the audio version of this thing every single morning. You can just sign up for our email newsletter and get the email in your inbox. That's simple as well. All those things can be done via our website. Of course, we talked about sponsors. There's a page for various sponsors. There's a page to ask for partnerships. And partnerships are people who directly fund what's going on. They are really going on. Now, if you haven't been living under, if you've been living under a rock for a while, you know that many people that you see on the YouTube have sponsors, have patrons, have whatever you want to call them, various services that allow them to take in money and donations from people who support them, supporter of the arts directly, essentially. We use a platform called Buy Me a Coffee. That's just the platform we like. But the same thing applies. Become a partner, become a cup of coffee subscriber, and you can help us shape and mold what's going on. We will talk about and shout out some subscribers at the end of the show, so thank you for that. But in the meantime, go to our website and do a whole lot of things. Yeah, that's a whole lot of calls to action. Trust me, there's more coming. But yeah, we love you. We thank you. This is something that I'm glad I get a chance to do. I do it anyway in some shape or fashion, but I get a chance to do it in performance mode with some help from you, and more help, unfortunately, is always needed. We always need more help. So we're going to ask for it. And it's you to deem us worthy, you can give it to us. What we do need you to do is just go by the feeds and email us at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. Do that every single day. Do that every single day, and just keep us abreast of how things are going. We'll can figure other things out if need be. If we get enough clicks and enough likes, enough views, I can go to headline sponsors. So that would help. It is time for the fun stuff. We got done with the news. That's why you were here. We got done with the business stuff. That's why I talked about the classes. And we got done with the promotion stuff. That's why I yacked about myself for about 2.5 minutes. It is time for the fun stuff. And we always start fun stuff on today. And we always shout out to cat women everywhere. Oh, Halle Berry was a cat woman. I forgot about that. I didn't throw it out there. Halle Berry had a birthday this week, as she was a cat woman, one of the more maligned and more sort of terrible cat women. Not that she was a bad cat woman, but she was been a bad cat woman movie. The original TV cat woman, Julie Newmar, has a birthday today. Birthday wishes, birthday greetings, birthday love to the 91-year-old Julie Newmar, known for many other things, of course, including a movie named after her, going forward with that one about drag queens. Julie Newmar, who was fabulous and still is at 91 years old, the original TV cat woman from TV's Batman. Of course, the second one, we always should love her as well. That's, of course, Eartha Kitt. We will give her definitely props when that happens. But giving love to this cat woman, Julie Newmar, today, 91 years old on the 16th of August. Also, Angela Bassett, or Bassett, if you actually want to say her name properly. She's 66 years old today, and she's still making lots of great things happen in movies and film, and just as a general great person. Angela Bassett, or Bassett, for some reason, I don't know where Bassett's coming from today. Angela Bassett is 66 today. Her birthday twin is Madonna, who is also 66, although, there comes the joke, her face looks like it's, there you go. Madonna's had some work done, and not some great work done. She's also not having great news in the news stuff right now. She's been sick, so we don't want to really pile on that one. So she had postponed some tour dates because she got really sick, and we're glad for that. But she's also dealing with stories about her adopted son, eating out of trash cans in New York City, which is not a good look. We still want to send Mads some love, so because she's earned it. Birthday wishes to the twins, Angela Bassett and Madonna, and much love to Julie Newmar on this August 16th. Oh, guess what? You know who else's birthday it is? It is my beautiful, lovely wife, Christina with a K, who is turning a round number today. We won't say what the round number is, but we will say, as we always do, for the next 6 weeks, she's the older woman because she's older than I am for 6 weeks. She's going to hate that, but send her love anyway, because she probably needs that for, putting up with me. Let's go to our history on this day. Things that happened back in this day on August 16th. Today is the day Elvis Presley died at his Graceland mansion in Memphis. He died of a heart attack caused by abuse of prescription painkillers. A very sad day for the fans of the King. A lot of things going on, oddly enough, with Graceland and the King dynasty, if you will, the King estate. We know that some guy tried to sell the mansion, just oh, I own it, I'm going to sell it, and almost actually got away with it too. So a lot of things going on with Elvis, but that hard to believe, but that was 77. That was nearly 50 years ago that Elvis has passed. And there's still some people who thinks, nearly 50 years later, he's like living up in Atkins, Arkansas, just trying to lay low. People still think Elvis is out there, and he's out there critiquing people on Spotify because America. 1998, let's jump ahead a good 20 years and go to where a team of monster hunters reported it had failed to find any trace of the mysterious creature thought to have inhabited Sweden's Great Lakes for 60 years. The fleet of 15 boats with researchers and divers equipped with underwater video cameras and echo equipment found no signs of the monster reportedly cited by 150 occasions by 450 people since 1635. There is no Loch Ness monster. There is no Great Lake monster in Sweden. These things were somewhat fabricated from the times, turned into legend based on technology at the time and just rumor and innuendo. But of course, dinosaurs living in lakes or lochs or what's not probably didn't really happen, because this is a case in 98 where they found no trace of something in Sweden's Great Lake. And in 2014, continued riots in Ferguson, Missouri over the shooting death of teenager Michael Brown by police officers resulted in the announcement of the state of emergency and a curfew by Governor Jay Nixon. The more ironic things about this one is the 10th anniversary, of course, 10 years since this happened. There have been a bevy of protests in Ferguson and around Ferguson in Missouri, basically fighting the same fight that happened 10 years ago, and where the police chief in Ferguson, a black man, is saying, hey, these police officers, that was 10 years ago. They gone. Why are you fighting us now? Essentially, basically, like who are you fighting at this point? There have been various clashes in the time that they've had for and the protests themselves, not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, assembling and even protesting, not a bad thing. But the fact that the protests have gotten very, 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 very heated very quickly has been something of concern for many in the area, including police chief, who's saying, you're fighting the wrong people. You're fighting against people who have been gone for years. We're here trying to clean things up and go forward. Please stop. Please stop. So let's go to a big word for today. And you can learn more about big words for a day by going to the Big Words Project at thebigwordsproject.com. And you can also look for copies of our latest edition of Things, Big Words You Might Ought to Know. It's a book of vocabulary words. Maybe not be all that, exciting, but hey, I like words, and I've published a book. And did you publish a book on vocabulary words? So there. Today's word is kibosh. You may have heard this a lot in sports takes because people like to use it as a metaphor kind of word. But the kibosh means something that serves to stop something else. Put the kibosh on something, basically stop it. Management's decision to cut funding, put the kibosh, stopped the entire project. So this may be a word that you'll probably hear a lot in older guys talking in sports terminology, or maybe it's something you hear just older people because it's an older word. Kibosh is the word for today. Try to use it, and then, go stick a nickel in the Victrola and see what happens with that one. I guess stick nickel in the Nickelodeon, and you turn the crank on the Victrola and go with that one. Mix those metaphors pretty poorly. So we're moving on to a daily affirmation, which will make me feel better about mixing that up. And that is, I embrace the journey of becoming the best version of myself. This boosts confidence and self-image by regularly affirming your commitment to personal growth. It reinforces self-belief, enhancing confidence and your self-image, which are crucial for successfully navigating life's challenges and reaching your goals. So repeating an affirmation such as this one, I embrace the journey of becoming the best version of myself. Remind yourself that you're working on yourself. You're not there yet. You will get there. It's inevitable. You'll get there, but you're not there yet. More about affirmations by going to the links inside of this presentation for the book 100 Daily Affirmations for Positivity and Confidence, or search 100 Affirmations Pain in your Google search for whatever book place you want to. We're on many of the online digital book services, and we're in some independent bookstores as well. So look for J. Cleveland Payne at your local bookstore. If you see one, pull it up, take a selfie of it, send it to me so we can see where we're out and about. We're wrapping up a Friday with a pretty cool, pun intended, celebration, and that is Kool-Aid Day. Oh, yeah. Kool-Aid Days during the second weekend of August recognizes the childhood drink that has been around since 1927. The beverage holiday is not only a contemporary celebration for some, but also time to walk down memory lane, reminiscing about the younger days with friends and family on hot summer days and Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid was invented in 1927 by Edwin Perkins and originally named Fruit Snack. Glad Kool-Aid stuck and not Fruit Snack. While the product originally sold as a concentrate, basically a thick syrup that you stir together, shipping problems helped spark the process's success. So that turned it into the powder. Powder made it easy to ship because the concentrate was kind of nasty. The expense of shipping the bottled concentrate prompted the manufacturer to switch to powdered version, and we call it No to Love. Of course, there are now knockoffs and other versions of it and things you can call it what you want to. But by the time the Great Depression hit, the price of Kool-Aid was cut in half, which made it a sweet drink that people could actually drink during the Depression and kept its popularity then, and of course, popular today as well. Now, we may be a little bit faster, a little bit less patient with, taking the time to pour in the Kool-Aid and pour in the ice and water and stir and let it sit and drink it from the pitcher. But Kool-Aid is still a staple of many people's drinks. The flavored beverage, whatever you want to call it, Kool-Aid specifically is what we're celebrating. I'm sure it's because somebody made it a marketing tool. But Kool-Aid Day, second weekend in August, this Friday, is the start of the weekend celebration of Kool-Aid. If you don't want Kool-Aid, if you're having a barbecue, go with a bratwurst or go with rum. Maybe put a little rum in that Kool-Aid. Not saying it's out of the question, but it could work. Make sure the kids aren't around. That's a whole different kind of punch. Let's get into getting out of two. Today has been Friday, August 16th, 2024, at least for this video presentation. It may still be Friday. It could be another day if it's the future. And this is the wrap up for the show, plural, because we had things you might not have heard and things you might ought to know. So 2 shows in one. And quick thanks to our partners that have been with us for quite some time. The Cup of Coffee level partners are Harold Braxton, Colby Green, and Eldon Kidd. They're at the $5 level. And Spare Change is Joy Winters, $1 a month. But hey, we'll take $1. We'll take what we can. And these are people who are contributing all of $16 to the effort each month. So trust me, that $16 goes much farther than you think. And $16 is more than just a kind gesture. It pays for a couple things. So if you want to help us pay for a couple things, it doesn't take much. Go to our website, click on link for partnerships, and see what level you want to. Now, you can go even higher than the $5 level. There's other higher level tiers as well. And there's also links to help you give us one-time donations at Buy Me a Coffee and other apps as well. So one-time donations are always loved. I will give you a shout out there if you do that as well. But we want to go ahead and get the wrap on the show. So remind you that how this thing works is we need you at the feeds on Facebook and X, engaging in the stories as they come down. Tell us what to talk about next iteration. 10 stories come Monday from the top 30 of the weekend. So we got a lot of work to do, a lot of engaging to engage in. So let's get the engaging going. In the meantime, make sure you are emailing us at the conversation inbox at gmail.com so we can get the comments and concerns and the complaints that you want to send our way. Plus, consider checking out some sponsors, consider joining us on a couple of other platforms so we get some extra love. And please share what we have here. Share our stuff with other folks so there's more people in the conversation. If we have more people that we can call legitimate likes or shares or followers, we can go to larger sponsors and get more things going forward. That would be a grand thing for all of us. Also, remember that life is great, even when life doesn't seem so great in the moment. So sometimes you have to shift your mind out of that and to get to a better place. Thank you so much for being with us for today. Love you guys. Mean it so much. We've got work to do for the weekly wrap up. We're doing it in a new fashion. So we have 12 stories from the batch of stories we do in the week. And this is always fun figuring out which stories I like more than others because I'm literally doing it. It's not scientific. I can't blame it on the spreadsheet. I have to say, yes, I picked this one over this one. And I'm pretty sure the chicken wing story is making it in the top 12 because there's no way I'm not doing the chicken wing story. There's just no way. There's a lot of other stories that probably should be there, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be biased and put that story in there because there's a lot of deeper details into that one. So what stories are going to be in the 12 for the weekly wrap up? What stories will be in Monday's edition of Things You Might Have Heard for the weekend? You have to wait and see. Look for us in our feeds. Look for various shows all over the place, and make sure you stop by our website if you need help finding things as well. As I said already, love you, mean it, And now I mean it. We're out of here for this Friday. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. See you come Monday.